Hey, I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Chris.
This is Mike and Chris Reloaded, and this week we're going to talk about some stuff.
You know, stuff.
Cool stuff.
Stuff that we like to talk about. Stuff.
Like geeky shit.
Um, yeah, we got a few things to touch up on, so I guess we can jump right into it. How about we start with Destiny
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, the Destiny 2 beta was this past weekend.
Yay.
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 Alright.
Um,
I was
for
excited to play it.
for any of you fans of the first one, there you go.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
No, that's not all I gotta say. But the campaign was actually really good. Seeing as how the first one didn't really, I guess it kind of had a campaign, sort of.
Yeah, it had, as in Titanfall campaign.
Yeah, it's kind of like
It had the original Titanfall
you
campaign.
show up at the base and then you got to do missions and multiplayers.
Right.
So
This one seems.
this one I think actually has a campaign though.
Yeah, this one's got a solo single player campaign that people are going to be able to pop in and out of at key points of the game. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did when we were playing at the protecting the base. There was like other people there. I was like, hey, who's
Yeah,
that?
they just pop in and out randomly throughout the game. Like Dark Soul does that too. I don't know if you ever played the Dark Souls
I've never
game.
played. My kid seems to be fascinated with it though.
Supposedly, it's like the hardest RPG game ever made.
Because he's
Which,
playing that instead of playing my game in Madden with me.
yeah, Trent, I know you don't listen, but play Madden.
So
But
I told him if he doesn't play it by the time we go school clothes shopping, that I'm never buying him another game again.
oh, really?
Yep.
Nice. Nice burn. Trent might actually listen, so he does listen sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. But yeah, the characters, other players are going to be able to jump in and out at key points of the game. The gameplay was fluid. It did seem a lot like the first one.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like
Did
they did
anything?
anything. You still got your three main people. Your what is it? The wizard, the hunter, and
Warlock
the
type.
warlock, the hunter, and the titan.
Yeah, Warlock Titan, Hunter
Yeah,
Titan.
there's no new character or nothing. There's just those three type people.
And I understand this is beta, but come on, give us something. Like I was telling you, like the strike team mission that we did. Me and Dre Womack did before we actually played the strike team mission the other night. We literally spawned, and there was a pit, like 5 steps away. And then there was a walkway going the opposite direction. And if you took the walkway going the opposite direction, it just dead ended against a cliff. So the only place you had to do was to fall down that pit and fight that boss. That was the only strike team mission on the first day that it came out. Now,
Which when we played, we went through all that and then we fought the boss.
yeah, yeah. When I played with you, it completely changed. It actually had some kind of story behind it or a mission sequence behind it besides just a boss fight.
Which I'm not gonna lie, that boss was a bitch.
That boss was a bitch. He did not want to die. And we were level 20 too, because you start off as level 20 in the
Yeah.
beta. So I think
Which, and this is what I don't get. They're like, hey, play the beta, get the gear, you'll give you the special gear. But when last time they did that with the beta with the first one, it's like, yeah, you get this gear, blah, blah, blah. But then when the game started, you started from scratch with nothing.
yeah, you're gonna start from scratch with nothing again.
So why even offer to
I
give
don't
you
know.
gear?
And did you look through your gear?
Yeah, you already had like a bunch of guns already.
Yeah, you had a bunch of guns, and all the guns did the exact same amount of damage and everything. It just rate of fire and stuff was different.
Yeah.
So like
The only thing I had was
nothing
I had
improved
a
you.
golden gun, which was like that weird pistol that burnt things.
Oh really?
Yeah, so I had one of those. That was it. But yeah, it's just like nothing. I'm like, why even give you a gun? Just do the beta, let us play through it, whatever. Give us our default weapons, and then let us play through it. Don't offer say, oh, well, here you completed this mission, you get a special weapon. For what? I'm going to lose it when the game comes. So why even bother?
Right. Well, it would see. I see their point is if the weapons actually made a difference in how you played, because you get to use those in the Crucible. So you could do the strike team missions, build yourself up over the beta weekend, and then you could do the Crucible and seriously pwned some folks, but the weapons didn't do jack shit.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
they're
all
all
the
the same.
same.
Yeah,
There was no point in it. No point in playing the strike team
you
mission
get no
except
level increase. You get no special on the weapons or nothing. You get as just there was nothing to it. You can't increase any of your abilities. You can't do nothing. You can't do nothing. It's just a beta, which I get that. But don't try and give you something that you're like, yeah, ooh, cool. But I'm like, you just got the same gun, but now it shoots ice instead of fire.
yeah. There's other betas out there that I've played that actually let you level up. Like what was it? What I can't think of the name of the beta now. What was the last big beta we played? Was it Gears? Gears
Yeah,
beta.
Gears of War.
Gears beta. We actually got stuff that we could use. Like we unlocked cards and stuff that we could actually use in the
Mm-hmm.
beta. You know, they served a purpose for us, and then this no purpose.
No, none whatsoever.
The
The strike team missions pretty much the same. 3-man fire team.
Yeah, why can't you have 4 freaking people?
Yeah, you'd think they would improve on something like that. You know, say, okay, we're going to run 4-man teams instead of 3-man teams.
I understand.
I guess maybe it's just too crowded. Because I remember when we were playing that boss at the end of you're in that little platform and just the 3 of us. So it gets kind of crowded there. I mean, especially when all those the creatures and stuff are popping up. You know, you got like the main boss and like 12 other creatures there.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of is why. But I agree with you. I mean, why not run a 4-man team?
Hey, it just everything's 4-man. Why does Bungie's like, F Microsoft, we're gonna do 3-man teams now. It was kind
Yeah.
of like they did it just to be defiant. Oh, everybody's doing 4-man, we're gonna do 3-man.
Well, and another way I can kind of see it too is because you have 3 characters you can be.
Right.
So if you have a 3-man team, each person can be a different character. That's the only way. That's the only reason why I can see it.
I guess. I don't know. I don't agree with it.
I didn't do any of the Crucible, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same thing.
I played the Crucible. I got pwned.
Just the same. Basically, the Crucible is basically multiplayer.
They had they had 2 versions to play in the beta. You had regular team deathmatch, where it was 4 versus 4 team deathmatch, and then they had an option where I don't know if you ever played the original Rainbow Six games, where you only had 1 life. Well, some of the original Rainbow Six games, you only had one. You had a team of 4 people going against a team of 4 people, and you had an objective that you had to do, and you only got 1 life. If you died, you died. That was
Well,
it.
it's like
you had to sit out.
the Call of Duty, the same thing.
Yeah.
What's the one where you had to plant the bomb or whatever?
Yeah.
If you died, you were out.
Yeah.
Until the round started over.
Yeah, it was basically that. I kept dying like instantaneously. I sucked horrible. At my age, my multiplayer skills are deteriorated. I'm telling you.
My hand-eye coordination is slipping.
I don't have the hand and eye coordination anymore to fight, to play.
That's bad if you play video games. Even worse if you masturbate.
Yeah, no kidding. But needless to say, it was all just, in my opinion, I'm not going to pick up Destiny 2. I might rent it a couple months down the road, but I'm not picking it up.
That's Destiny 2. It'd probably be one of those games. If I get it, it would be like on sale for like half off or something.
Yeah.
Or like $20, marked down to $20 or something. That's about the only way I think I would pick it up if it was like that cheap. To buy it outright out of the gate, no. I did it last time when the first Destiny came out. I got the little whatever the little floaty thing that comes with it.
Yeah.
I got the big collector's edition. It came with that little
the orb. Yeah.
Came with the orb and everything. It was nice. In fact, the thing actually it'll talk to you too. So
oh really?
It was motion sensitive too. You could actually, when you move in front of it, it'll talk.
Does it watch you while you sleep?
It might.
Oh no.
It's thinking.
It's got feelings.
But when I got the game, I was like, oh, cool, awesome, yeah. And then it's like, huh.
What did I buy?
Huh. And then it's just like they didn't have any DLC for the longest time on it, and then
I know.
Finally released some.
By that time, you moved on.
Yeah, by that time, you're just like, that was like a year later. You're just like,
I'll make fun of Dane. Dane still plays Destiny.
Well, I don't think I played the first Destiny, and I played it for maybe the first couple of months, 2-3 months after it came out.
Yeah.
And then I had played it since, I don't think.
Yeah, that's the way I was.
2 years ago?
Yeah, that was the way I was with Titanfall, too. I did the same thing. I played it for the first couple of months. It was awesome. And then you beat it, and you're like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Oh well.
But I would, like I said, and I told you why I would, in my circumstances, if I were to buy it, that's about where I'd go. So
Yeah. Well, we had a guy who brought it, who was making fun of us on our Facebook page that we weren't going to talk about the girl being the new Doctor Who. So let's. I want to comment on it.
there's a girl going to be the new Doctor Who, guys.
Yeah. Yay. Terrible, I know, but
Just think, breastises.
yeah, I mean that to me, the whole gender equality and did you see that meme? There was a meme out today. Speaking of gender equality, it said they're talking about the Doctor Who, and it said, "What do you mean no women in high-profile sci-fi character positions?" And it showed like Sarah Connors and Wonder Woman and. It showed 6 different people, and it goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I
But
hadn't seen that one. I seen the other one where it showed like all the other doctors, and it was like kidney, liver, something, something, and then like it said like a body part of each one, and I got down to the bottom, it had her, and it said breasts. So
yeah, I mean, good for Doctor Who for getting with times and people wanting to do the whole feminist movement, and uh, I
you
think
knew it
there
was
was,
coming sooner or later.
I think there was, yeah. I mean, it's been around since what, the '60s.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I didn't watch any of the original ones. I'm only at season 8, episode 8 of Doctor Who
Hey,
personally.
you're 8 seasons and 8 episodes ahead of me.
Oh, I know, and I didn't care for the new Peter Capaldi guy, so for them to bring this new girl in, maybe I'll start watching again. Maybe I'll quickly binge watch the Peter Capaldi episodes just to see how good she is in the role.
I've heard, and I think I've heard what I've heard about the Doctor Who is the fact that it's just campy, corny, whatever,
It
but it's
is.
something that just keeps you drawn in, which is fine. And I'm not saying that I hate it or I'll never watch it. It's just I haven't got the time to do it right now. Maybe one day down the road I might do it.
Well, it's like the whole first season you're watching this and you're like, why am I watching this? Why the hell am I watching this? What the F am I thinking? But you can't stop watching it for some reason. I can't explain it, and I don't know how to explain it. But all right, we talked about Doctor Who. Let's move on to Comic Con.
Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, 2017. Woo woo woo.
Yeah,
Um,
had some good things come out of there.
They did. Basically, essentially, we were talking about this before that we got this kicked off, is that Comic Con just seems like it's just a springboard for trailers now
Yeah,
and,
it's
and
basically
announcements for movies and TVs. That's all it is.
movie and TV shows. I don't see much of any comics going on as far as news wise.
Well,
Well, at least it's not being reported by any big media source like IGN or anything like that.
yeah, there was a few big announcements. We were talking about Todd McFarlane.
Yep, Todd.
Announced they have a producer for the Spawn movie. So they're going ahead. It's moving ahead, which is good. Hopefully, it'll be better than the last one.
Hopefully, from what I understand, it's going to be rated R. So
I think the last one was rated R.
yeah, but the last one sucked.
Yeah.
The last one was terrible.
No, actually, I think the last one was PG-13, and then they had a rated R version,
Oh, really?
it didn't help it either way.
I just remember seeing the terrible version. But Todd McFarlane, what kind of directing credits does this man have? I forget what he did. I know he does the toys. Do you know anything that he did? Or he's just like always. His name always seems to be around.
Yeah, he's his history. He originally was an artist and inker artist and script and everything else for Marvel. He took over doing Spider-Man. He did the Hulk for a while. He took over doing Spider-Man for the longest time, and then him and a bunch of other guys, him and Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. There's a bunch of them. There's about 8 or 10 of them broke off from Marvel and DC and formed their own company called Image. And then Image was born, and that's when Spawn, Savage Dragon, there's all kinds of people, comic books there. It's out of all the ones that come out, Spawn was the biggest draw they had. You got this. If anyone doesn't know anything about Spawn, crawl out from underneath your rock and listen. Basically, you got a guy who's a mercenary who was doing a job, and he ends up getting killed on the job, but he gets betrayed, double crossed, and gets killed. And when he gets killed, he goes to hell. So he ends up in the movie. It depicts him as him sending him back, whatever, to lead his army or whatever. They call him Malbrosia, which is basically Satan. But in the comic books, he actually comes back. He sends him back, and he gives him a lifeline. And it's in the comic book. If you ever read the comic book, he's got this lifeline on him. So every time he uses his powers, that little bit goes away. It's like a counter, basically. So a little bit goes away every time, and then until I guess whenever it reaches 0, then he'll go back to hell for good. But it's so funny because like he was a black man married to a woman, this and that, all this stuff, and then when the devil sent him back, he was just charred to a crisp, burnt, whatever, unrecognizable. And then on top of it, it was like 10 or 12 years later, so he didn't even go back right away. So now he's like, all this time has passed. So then when he tries to use his powers to change himself back to where he can be normal, the only thing he can do is change himself into a white guy.
That is funny.
But yeah, the comic book, of course, there's a lot more in-depth stuff to it. And then, but it's by far, it's for Image Incorporated, it is their Spider-Man, basically. That's their number one draw.
Right.
So, and it spawned like just hundreds of toys. It spawned it had a TV series on, I think, HBO. Was it HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Which was actually, they said the TV series was really good. I've only watched like an episode or so.
I've only seen a few episodes too.
But the TV series was really good, and that was actually rated R.
Right.
And then,
well, HBO only does rated R, I think.
And then, of course, it spawned the movie, but spawned the Spawn movie.
Yeah.
But that's a little brief history. But hopefully, this next one, maybe with the way everything goes nowadays, it'll be done right.
Yeah, we seem to be hitting a lucky streak with superhero or anti-villains, if you want to call, or anti-heroes, if you want to call them that, movies as well. I mean, Deadpool is extremely successful as an anti-hero.
Yeah, which that's if you ever did you see that little article about the Gambit movie?
Yeah.
Because Channing Tatum, said, forget it, you guys are taking too long, this and that. But then after the success of Deadpool, now he's like, hey, wait a minute, guys.
Yeah, I know. I read that. I don't read that if they are accepting him back, or I hope not. I don't want Channing Tatum as.
I don't see him.
I don't. I see him as Magic Mike. I see him stripping down on stage.
Yeah, I can't. I'm with you. I can't picture, and I like Channing Tatum. He's decent enough, but I just
wasn't he in the G.I. Joe movie?
He was Duke. Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That was, if that's any, but okay, Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern, so maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe we're wrong. But the one that I got interested out of the trailer, we're on movies. Okay, I'll wait to save that because I was going to go to TV shows.
Well, speaking of striking luck, DC finally struck some luck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with Wonder Woman.
Yes.
It is now the DC's biggest top-grossing single superhero movie of all time. Wonder Woman has topped over $1 billion worldwide.
Have you watched DC superhero movies?
It is now the biggest top-grossing. Well, the Batman Begins and
you have the Dark Knight
and stuff. Yeah. Those are pretty decent. I mean,
yeah, but they're not great. Wonder Woman was amazing, though.
It was really good. So, and I applaud DC for finally putting something out.
Yeah.
And who directed that again? Zack Snyder.
Oh yeah, Zack Snyder. Duh. But what other movie came out? We saw the leaked copy of the Avengers Infinity War.
Oh my God!
Did you see that? At the end of the trailer, they have somebody show up. It ends and there's somebody shows up and they're like, there's something like, I need your help or something like that. Right at the end of the trailer.
Yeah, it was.
And it doesn't.
Who was he talking to?
No, it doesn't show. Yeah, Alfred. But it doesn't show who it was.
Yeah, because he said he says, we were waiting for you. We need your help.
Yeah, Joss Whedon let it slip who it was.
Who was it?
It's Batman. he said that not Batman, it's Superman.
We're talking about Justice League,
Yeah.
not Infinity
Oh
War.
yeah. You're right. We're talking about Justice. I got confused for a second, but yeah, I got excited about this. Just Josh Whedon, he said that they had to redo all the takes, and what's his name? He plays Superman. I forget his name, but he's filming the new Mission Impossible movie right now, and he's got a mustache. So he said that they had to redo all the mustaches from what's his name. They have to digitally enhance all the mustaches out. So he let slip that Superman's going to be in the Justice League flick.
Well, he does come back eventually. I mean, he wasn't dead.
Yeah, yeah, I know, but it's just let it slip is what I can't think of that guy's name though.
Henry Cable.
Henry Cable, yes,
Yeah.
Thank you. You Googled it. You little
I
cheater.
did. I Googled. I went to the
Cheater.
Google machine.
Okay, now let's talk about Infinity War, which is where I started at. It looked pretty good. It was a cam quality that we saw. So
Yeah, but just what you saw looked amazing.
Yeah, I thought that it was pretty cool that the Hulk actually had lines as the Hulk.
Now you're getting it confused again.
Was that?
That's Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that was Thor Ragnarok. You're right.
You're
Damn
blending your movies, Mike. You're blending.
There's so much. There's so much. All right, you tell me what the Infinity War one was about, so I can rephrase.
Infinity
my
War
stoned
starts
mind.
out with the Guardians of the Galaxy flying through space. And
Okay, yeah,
jump on
you're
the
right.
debris, and then
You're right. And Captain America.
Thor hits
Oh
the
yeah,
windshield.
Thor hits the windshield. You're right.
And that's when Rocket was like, "Oh my God, get it off!
Yeah.
Scrape it off!"
You're right. Okay.
But yeah, they find Thor, and then they end up going down to Earth, and then they find the Avengers and everything else, and then you see the images of Spider-Man with his hair raising up on his arms. See, everyone's questioning about, does Spider-Man have a Spidey sense, or no one? There was nothing to indicate he had it.
Right.
But I mean, he was. If you guys watched the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, how could you dodge stuff like that and not have spider sense? I mean, he was dodging bullets, dodging fists, dodging. I mean, everything.
Right.
There's just no way you could do that and not have some sort of sixth sense. I'm sorry.
This is why you're here, to keep me in check, because I'm an idiot when it comes to shit.
But yeah, it showed the Iron Spider suit, the one that was the end of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yep.
It showed, just Thanos just destroying everybody.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good. I think it's going to be real good.
I know everybody was cheering. Did you watch during the video when they were doing it? Every time Spider-Man was shown on the screen, everybody was start screaming and hollering and applauding.
Oh yeah, it was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Or when Captain America showed up wearing his beard and everything else.
Yep.
So, I think you're going to see a lot of good things. You're going to see. I think you're going to see this movie to where it's going to end on a really bad note. I think.
It's going to be a cliffhanger too.
Yeah. So and they actually didn't split this movie up like they originally wanted to.
Oh, they didn't?
Mm-mm, they're making two separate movies.
Oh yeah.
So, which like they did it with The Matrix, they made one giant movie, split it up. Lord of the Rings, one giant movie, split it up. That way it takes right off. This one they did not. They're making two completely separate movies. But I believe you're going to see at the end of this movie, it's going to probably piss a lot of people off.
I'm expecting a cliffhanger.
I am too. I expect that you're going to see probably just like.
Because don't they all die at the end? Isn't that the basic? Thanos kills everybody except for, and then Hulk comes back. Is that the right plot line? Hulk comes back from Planet Hulk or whatever. They get Hulk. No.
No. Everybody.
What's the right plot line for it?
Everybody. If you go by the comic books, everybody died.
Everybody died. Yeah. I know everybody died. I thought. I swear to God that somebody came back to fight Thanos.
No, Thanos was pretty much infinitely powerful. There's nothing that could beat him. Everybody pretty much died. Thanos' own undoing was himself in the comic books.
Okay.
He got basically too big for his britches.
What plot line am I thinking of?
Come
on, help me out here. That's why.
Where the Hulk comes back?
Yeah, he comes back from Planet Hulk. I thought he comes back and fights somebody. Damn. YouTube, you've let me down.
I have no idea.
Or my brain has let me down.
In the Planet Hulk series in the comic books, Hulk comes back to Earth to conquer Earth.
Okay. No, not what I'm thinking of. Oh well.
Not a big deal.
But no, it looks incredible. I'm super jacked and excited for it. I think it comes out in May. There is one more movie before that's going to lead right into it, and that's going to be Thor Ragnarok. So,
Which is November, right?
I think yes,
November
which is the same
6th.
time Justice League comes out.
Yeah.
Which I think you're going to see. See, the thing with Thanos is he's got this obsession, I guess almost like a love obsession with death. And if you've ever, again, read any comic books or whatever, death is actually a character in the comic book. It's not just like you died. There's an actual character of death in the comic book. And it looks just, in the comic books, it's just some woman wearing a robe. But I think what you're going to see in the Thor Ragnarok, the woman you see which is played by Kate Blanchett?
I don't know.
Whoever, the one that was in the Lord of the Rings movie, she played Galadriel.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, she plays actually the goddess of death in there. So I think what you're going to see is her coming there to start the Ragnarok, destroy Thor's homeworld, and this and that, Asgard, and it's going to be, I think she's going to tie into Thanos to where she's going to be his death. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's going to come to where
she's going to reap him.
Well, it's going to come to where I think Thor's going to come back and basically whatever, beat her down, do whatever. The Hulk and his little team are going to beat her down. She's going to lose. Thanos is going to step in. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's where everything's going to get destroyed. That's where you're going to come into the Avengers, where Thor hits the windshield of the Guardians of the Galaxy flight, where he's out in the middle of the space. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's where I think. Now, so that's just my speculation, but I think that's where that's all going to tie in.
You think they're going to cliffhanger Thor Ragnarok a little bit with what happened to Thor? And
I think so. I think it's Hela. Hela is the goddess of death, or whatever.
Okay.
But I think that's what you're going to see. You're going to see all that happen. I think in the Thor Ragnarok, it's partly the Thor Ragnarok, Planet Hulk, event, Infinity War. It's kind of all three of them kind of tie in, because we got the Hulk is on that planet Battle World where Thor comes in and then he's fighting the Hulk and this and that. And then that's where then Hela comes in, wipes out Asgard, and that's where he gets Loki to help him and this and that. But in the commercial, in the trailer, you see Thor's hammer get destroyed.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, you see him show up and his eyes are glowing and this and that. I think what's going to happen is he's going to go get the Tesseract. Remember at the end of the Avengers where they captured Loki and he took the Tesseract back with him?
Yep.
I think you're going to see him go get that, which everybody knows the Tesseract is one of the gems, the Infinity Stones. He's going to go get that so he can battle Hela. When he battles Hela, he's going to beat her down, this and that. Thanos is going to show up looking for the Infinity Gem. Then you're probably going to see Loki turn on Thor, give Thanos the Infinity Gem. Because if you recall, Loki was in cahoots with Thanos in the first Avengers. Remember?
Yes, I do remember that.
So, yeah, I think you're going to see. I could be wrong, but I think I'm calling this one on that.
So I think that's about all for the movie trailers that I was interested in seeing. I don't think I'm missing anything, am I?
No, I think that was pretty much all. I mean, they had a couple of announcements. They announced, I told you, Michelle Pfeiffer played Janet Van Dyne in the new Ant-Man Wasp movie. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much all the really big trailers. I mean, the new trailer for the Justice League movie looks really good too.
Yeah, it does.
So if it's any indication of what it's going to be, I hope it's.
But I misspoken already and talked about Justice League, so
yeah.
That's why you're here, man, to keep me in check. I'm telling you, I'm an idiot sometimes. I do not know comic book shit.
But they did announce a bunch of trailers for new TV trailers too.
They did, like my favorite show, The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer, and did you see they start with? What does it start with? Him as an old man in the hospital bed. You see him where he's all gray haired with the beard. Rick, yeah.
I haven't actually. I've only seen bits and clips and pieces of the trailer. Okay. I haven't seen the whole thing.
I don't remember if it starts with it or ends with it.
There was a scene I saw. It looked like it started out with the dude, the Gabriel.
Yeah.
Like in a room or something, and then what's his name? Negan shows up and was talking to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's about kind of all I really saw. I didn't see the rest of it.
Well, it shows that there's some there's like a time frame gap somewhere where he's like remembering. It kind of implies that Rick is remembering the events of The Walking Dead because it shows him like really like I don't know, like 60-year-old Rick.
Oh wow.
Like I don't know. I would assume it's just because he's solid white and in a hospital bed and everything. So that's the impression I got from it.
I'll have to go and watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I still haven't caught up in last season. I think I need to watch the last 5 or 6 episodes.
And there was some misconception that the guy who's writing The Walking Dead said that he was going to finish up The Walking Dead.
No, they signed on for another 2 seasons, didn't they?
No, the comic book. He said he was going to end the comic book.
Oh.
But
no, he's not ending it.
Yeah, IGN reported that he was ending it. Mm-mm. And he put on his page on his Twitter handle, he's like, I'm not ending it. I was asked if I saw an end for The Walking Dead. And yes, I envisioned the end of The Walking Dead. But it's not ending.
He also was asked if he would ever kill off Rick. And he said, no one's sacred.
Yeah.
But Rick is pretty much your main antagonist. Is it Kirkman? Is that who does Walking Dead?
Robert Kirkman.
But
I was trying to think of his name.
It's I mean, there's a lot of speculation and everything on that. But see, if something should happen, say something should happen to Rick or something, I think you might see Carl's character kind of step up into that place. I think that's what they're kind of building it for. It seems like they're focusing a little more and more on Carl.
I really hate Carl. When I know he's not dead. You know, I know he's not dead current season, but when he got shot in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
I knew he wasn't dead in the comic book yet as of that spot, but I was like, please die, please die, please die.
When he got shot in the eye?
Yeah.
No, in the comic book he lost his eye too.
Oh, I know, but I was hoping somewhere. You know, they don't always exactly
That's
follow
exactly how he lost his eye. He got it shot out.
Yeah, they don't follow the comic book always. I mean, they've come back and revisited stuff, but
they use it as a guideline, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some things that they do. There's some things they don't. They had Ezekiel and Sheba.
Yeah.
Sheba or whatever. You know, they were in there.
And it shows badass that the lion's going to be attacking some more. The tiger.
The tiger didn't die?
No.
I thought she died in this last season.
No. It showed the tiger in the woods with Ezekiel in the trailer.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
I know the tiger dies later.
Yeah, it showed it mauling more people in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean, why else would you not have a tiger that's immune to zombies?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't people. I think it was zombies that it was mauling, but yeah. It showed the tiger. I forget, what is it, Shiva?
Yeah, Shiva, I believe.
Shiva.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool.
Fear the Walking Dead?
Fear the Walking Dead. I didn't see the trailer for Fear the Walking Dead.
They did announce
I just finished watching the mid-season break.
Oh, really? I haven't watched any of the second season at all.
Oh, I just this week or
Is
last
it second
week.
or third season? Second season, right? Is all they have?
No, it's the third season.
They have 3 seasons?
Yeah, this is
okay. Then I haven't
season.
watched any of the second season at all.
Yeah, this is the third season.
Or the third season.
Yeah, I watched the mid-season break. They're on a they're basically doing the Herschel thing. They're on a farm right now.
Oh, okay.
I won't spoil it for you, but basically it's fenced all the way around and everything, and they got.
See, what I didn't get, I mean, Fear the Walking Dead seemed like it was pretty decent, but
I hated the first season.
You got the dude, the one guy who's the school teacher, who's like the main guy apparently, I guess, supposedly. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. No spoilers.
He just seemed like he was just kind of a sissy.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do nothing. He just it's almost like he was in denial still, I guess, in there.
Well,
and he was still being his pacifist self, like he didn't want to feel like he wanted to.
He changed.
So.
Yeah, they changed his character. So.
Well, that's good.
The whole first season I thought was terrible. I think the first season is just setting up a story for the second and third season.
Well, the first season only was 8 episodes or something.
Yeah,
like that?
it was like
8 episodes.
They were just doing like plot line in the first season. This is how it happened. This is how the break. This is how these people got together.
What I did actually like though about Fear the Walking Dead was the fact that it did show you the outbreak.
Yeah.
Where Walking Dead, it was just like Rick woke up from a coma and everyone was already gone.
Right. From what I understand, the Fear of the Walking Dead is supposed to be the events that took place before Rick and his group was there. So Rick is still in a coma during this Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's same timeline. It's just back right before Rick.
Right before Rick
gone, yeah.
woke up and stuff. So, because they've toyed with saying that there might be a crossover eventually.
I thought they said something about that, but then I thought they said no, they're not going to do it. They're going to keep them completely separate.
Yeah, they said they're going to keep them separate. They said they would think about it, and then they said they keep it. So we don't know what they've double talked themselves. They've snake tongued themselves, I guess is a term.
Yeah.
So we don't know for sure.
Because you got, I don't think it would be prudent if they did a crossover, because you got two totally separate groups, and the whole idea of the whole Walking Dead thing is to try and survive in groups.
Right.
So then you would have to basically essentially merge them together. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you have. Well, current Walking Dead though, you got Negan's group, you got Ezekiel's group, you got Rick's group, you got the Trash People. So I mean, they could technically figure we'll all bump into this new group here, who's just moving on, and we're moving on to this area here.
Yeah.
So they could, but I don't know. But you have to watch the second and third season if you haven't watched it. It's way better than it. It's not even. There's no comparison to second and third season to the first season.
Seems like they keep focusing on that kid who's the junkie. So
Yes, that is the actual main character of the story.
is he?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it seemed like the way they made it sound was like the teacher guy was going to be the main guy.
He's not.
But then like it seemed like everything leaned towards like it always focuses on that kid, where he was at, what he was doing, what he got captured, he got this, him getting out and doing whatever.
Yeah, the young Tom Cruise looking kid is.
Yeah.
That's why I think of him. I mean, he's a good actor.
So you mean you hate him? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I don't hate him. He reminds me of Tom Cruise when Tom Cruise was a kid, when he first did Risky Business and stuff.
Oh yeah, back when he was good, you mean?
Yeah, back when he was enjoyable. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking of. But Stranger Things 2, season 2, also premiered.
Again, I have not seen. I've watched the first 2 episodes of Stranger Things.
I know you're terrible, man.
I am, man. I don't have a lot of time to do much of anything. I still haven't even caught up. I haven't even got caught up on.
Okay, this is what you do. You look at Stacy and you say, Stacy, I need this week to devote to TV and schoolwork. That's all I'm going to do this week is TV and schoolwork.
Are you trying to get me divorced before I'm even married?
Yes. You got to take time for yourself.
I know.
Especially to watch Stranger Things. Stranger Things is probably the greatest television show to come out last year out of any season. Better than Walking Dead season, better than...
They're doing more than 8 episodes this time?
This one is 10, I think. Right, Megan?
Yeah, I think it's 10.
10.
10. Okay,
I got my Stranger Thing 2 guru behind.
So 2 more episodes than last time.
Yeah, it's going to be a 10-episode season. But you have to watch it.
I started watching it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I got sidetracked doing a bunch of stuff. So.
I'm not going to spoil anything in the trailer then. But the trailer was good. Let me see. I'm trying not to spoil it. It takes up to where Will... It makes what happened to him in season 1. It starts off with him dealing with what happened in season 1 and season 2 during the trailer. So
and Will's the main little kid, right?
Will is a kid that disappeared.
Yeah, he was in the Upside Down verse or something like that.
Yes, he's in the Upside Down world now. Yeah, so basically, but want to go ahead and say people still have not claimed their shirts who won our shirts, and this is going to be the last week. I'm not going to hound you. I messaged you twice, so if you don't want them, we'll give them to somebody else.
That's right. We'll rehash it out. If we don't hear nothing by this end of this week, by our next podcast,
by our next show.
Well, I'd say by the end of this week, so that way we have time to redo it, and then we can announce something in the next podcast.
Yeah, so Dietrich Burns or Flor Azucena, I don't know how to say your name, sorry, probably slaughtering it. You want those shirts, get with me. I've messaged you twice. So.
And then, of course, Planet Janine, which is Shanna, I've still got hers. I'm sorry I haven't got it to you yet. I will get it out this week to you, I promise. But I have been in contact with her. I've got her address and everything else, and I'll get hers to her.
And we do 100% guaranteed have the phone interview system working. So if you have a good podcast idea, because we're busy people, so we're scraping and scrounging our knowledge barrel right now for podcast ideas. So if you got a good podcast idea that we want to use, we can bring you in as a guest via phone interview now. So just email me or Chris. Our email's Mike and Chris Reloaded at hotmail.com.
And then in the meantime, check out all our social media sites: Facebook, Twitter,
Tumblr,
Instagram,
Google Plus,
Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio. How about our website, mikeandchrisreloaded.libsyn.com?
Yeah. There's probably more, but I think we overwhelmed them
YouTube.
already. Yeah, YouTube. Only one person looked at our YouTube video channel last week, or two people, I think.
I think everyone's migrating to our website now.
Which is good, because that's where I want it, because that's where our stats are more beneficial for us.
Maybe one day we get some free time, we'll sit down and try and upgrade our website a little bit, put some stuff on there for people.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'd
like to get our iTunes link on there so that people can rate us and stuff using iTunes and Stitcher, the two links. That's what I'd like to do. But for me to you, thanks for listening.
Appreciate it, guys. See you next time.